Hey, it's Matthew Arthur, seasoned entrepreneur. As part of my plan for Australia domination with small businesses with my digital marketing agency, I'm trying to be more strategic rather than just tactical. And one of the things that I'm doing is market research, trying to determine the next niche to hyper focus on in terms of prospecting. The website, social media presence will have messaging that relates to all types of small businesses in general. However, when we do our prospecting, to be more effective, we want to hyper focus on a niche for starters and even plan the next probably 3 to 5 niches, because we'll go with one niche, get success, go out to similar niches, and then over time expand to help small businesses in Australia. So what kind of market research have I been doing? Let's jump into it. This is a sheet that I created where I'm putting information around different industries to help me determine the next best niche, or the next niche to target, or even the next 3 to 5 niches. We started with sellers and buyers agents because that's the niche we're moving from, and that was to just give me a bit of a baseline. Now, all these numbers and stuff, what does all this mean? Where did I get this from? The answer is I did not actually get this from anyone. I tried to do some research in terms of, what to do with market, or I looked into something, I don't know, as an example, how to do market research to determine, or figure out niche for digital marketing agency, and I didn't really get good stuff. There's all these, like this stuff, come on, essential skills and passions and all this stuff. I get all this. The thing is, where we're at is that we started in the accounting niche where I had no idea what we were doing, and then we realized that wasn't the best niche, to be clear. Like Joel Kaplan says that Joel Kaplan's view is that you can make $30,000 per month at any niche if you're good enough. And I think that's absolutely fair and reasonable. However, you want to pick a niche that is more likely to succeed than not. Accounting, for multiple reasons, wasn't the best. It could be if you target bigger firms and stuff, but ultimately it's not. I don't think it's the best for a digital marketing agency to focus on as a sole niche. We then moved into real estate, which is better in some ways, I feel, and we got more success there, got more traction. However, because there's with real estate, in the real estate industry, there's a lot of solopreneurs, people who are either just looking to make a bit of side cash or boost their career, but they don't have as much to fund. They're newer to business, and there's all those kind of variables. A solopreneur, essentially. So what we're looking to move into is a niche where it's established businesses who've got employees, they've got a stable business, they've got cash coming in, it's all good. They just need help growing. And that's what we're looking to target next. So I couldn't find, there probably is out there. I could not find any map of this is what you want to look into if you're a digital marketing agency. So I've really just made this from scratch. Now, to be clear as well, these all estimated numbers, and I'll show you how I've been getting this stuff in a second, because I could be doing this wrong. Heck, if someone's watching this and says, Matt, the way you're doing this is terrible, you want to do it this way, I would love to see that in the comments. I will be very, very grateful because I'm literally figuring this out as I go. But here's an example. So let's look at dental niche. So estimated number of businesses. How do I determine that? Could be a mix of trying to use ChatGPT, Google. There really is this one source of truth, which kind of means you have to use your noodle a little bit. You've got to use that noggin up here. So this is actually kind of challenging doing this stuff, actually, because it's just, you're constantly evaluating, is this information correct? Do I need to research more? Very interesting thing. Definitely new to me. Anyway, estimated number of businesses. So I've got here about 13.4K. Estimated number of businesses with 5+ employees. This is all estimated, but I put here 8.75K. Maybe I asked ChatGPT, can't remember how I did it for this one. Average LTV, so lifetime value per customer. So why would I want to know this? I want to know what the average LTV, well, there's a massive range. I want to know what the average LTV is, because if the LTV per customer for dentists is very small, so let's say $100, that highlights to me, well, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it for dentists to be putting big money into digital marketing? Because we are now going to be providing relatively higher end services. Like we're talking like it's probably going to be around the 5 to 10k per month for what we're going to offer. So is it actually worth a business dedicating or allocating 5 to 10k per month into marketing? And a good way to determine that is, well, what's your average LTV per customer? If you think about this for a second, if you only need 1 or 2 customers and you've paid off, like that brings 10k, if not more. It's an easier sell, right? And it's easier for a business to go, yeah, let's allocate $5,000 to $10,000 a month to marketing. Let's allocate that for 6 months, 12 months, because all you need is 1 or 2 customers per month to pay it off. So I think it's going to make it a lot easier to sell because the value proposition just makes more sense logically. And also it's probably going to have better retention because, all they need is 1 or 2 to pay it off. So even if the first month, for whatever reason, if they didn't get it, it's like, oh, well, all we need is 2 the next month and we pay it off. As we dial things in, it can take time for the marketing and the sales from the leads to get dialed in. But it's like if you only need a couple of customers, boom, like you're good. So I think there's that as well, which makes it, we need to make sure that if we're going to provide high-end marketing services, it actually makes a lot of sense for that business. And we want that at scale. So multiple people in the niche go, cool, this makes a lot of sense to try this out and to invest into marketing. Monthly keyword searches, I just did this by Google, 90.5k. Decent search volumes. Now, estimated annual total expenditure, 11.1 billion for 2020 to 2021. So I've probably got this from a report. Estimated annual growth rate, 2.4%. So again, probably got this from a report. Why are these important? Well, I want to see what the actual size of the whole market is. And is this thing growing? Is this an industry that's growing or is it deteriorating? And then I've put here what I wanted to know is the 3 most profitable service and average value. So dental implants can range from 3 to 20k or more. Orthodontics, is orthodontist different to dentist? Not sure. Ranges from 1 to 13k or more. Then cosmetic ranges from 200 to 2500 plus. So why do I want to know this? I want to know this because I want to know do they offer multiple services? Again, it comes down to the same thing, average LTV per customer. Is it going to make sense for a business in this niche to allocate $5,000 to $10,000 per month on marketing? Now from this, I've highlighted as green as yes. Like if you only need like 1 or 2 dental implant patients, we could say customers for the purpose of assessing this, but we can also say patients. Seems like a good investment, right? So this niche looks good in terms of this so far. Then what I've got all these other niches like optometrists. On the flip side, actually, this is a good point. So based on my research here, optometrists, only 2,000 estimated number of businesses, so a lot smaller than that. LTV of $400. Ooh. Monthly keywords pretty good. We can probably even make that green. It's pretty good. I must have got unknown, so I struggle to get stuff here. And then I think, I didn't even put the first 2, but like the most profitable being like an eye exam. And then I'm guessing you can sell on the sunglasses, on the glasses. But when I look at this, I'm thinking, why is an optometrist business going to be like, oh yeah, let's allocate all this money to marketing? I'm sure they can, to be clear. All businesses can make revenue off marketing, and there's different types of marketing you can do. It's just that we're going to be selling probably something around the 5 to 10k mark because of everything that's going to be included. Google ads, SEO, digital PR, potentially meta ads, Google reviews, all this stuff like that. If that's what we're going to be offering, I don't think this is going to be the best niche to go into because they're going to be thinking, I'm going to need to get this many eye exams out. So in an optometrist business owner's mind, they're going to have to get as an example, my math could be off here, but let's say 50, 20 to 30, so that 20 to 30 eye exams a month and then pay it off to be worth it. Whereas the dentist just thinks I only need 1 or 2 good patients a month and that'll pay it off easy. So there's that. Oh, someone hopped in here. I shared this with other agency owners in Australia, so it looks like someone else is having a squiz. Cool. All right. So also when I've determined that a niche is worth looking into further, I want to know what the ease of contactability. Why? Because that's going to determine how we're going to do our prospecting, our selling. So what I looked into is, are decision makers easily accessible on LinkedIn? So I'll show you why this is important. So if I go to LinkedIn for a second. So let's say I search in here. I want to put in principal dentist. Now, what I want to know are two things. One, how easy is it to find these people? Also, we need to check and make sure that we've got the right location. So I want it to be Australia for the time being. One, can we actually find them easily on LinkedIn? Because then we can contact them on LinkedIn. Now, you don't need to sell by LinkedIn. It's just that we actually had quite a bit of success with that, and I just want to know I want to know what the easeability is, or ease of contactability, or whatever the wording is. I don't care. Okay, so what we can find is that we've got 100 here, so this looks good. I'm now going to double down. That's in all of Australia. What if I just select a state? Do I still get 100 pages? Yeah, I do. So this is highlighting to me. Let's just put in Western Australia. This is highlighting to me that, okay, we've got a fair bit of these principal dentists we can contact. 75, that's decent. This is fine. Okay, so that's fine. So yes, if we type in, and I put the keyword here, principal dentist is where we can contact them. Now, another one is, are decision makers easily accessible on LinkedIn by services search? Why is that important? Why do I want to know that? I'll show you something. So as you can see here, a lot of these you need to connect with, and LinkedIn won't allow you to message them unless you connect with them. A lot of these have messages. It's not usually like that. It's usually get a lot of people that just say connect. But there is a little bypass trick that I found. So if you just go to services instead, what you can actually do is message a lot of these people directly, because they're looking at as like a service, because they've essentially put themselves out on LinkedIn as a service, which means that they want you to be able to message them without having to go through the hoops of doing a connection first. So let's go to locations, and I'll apply it in Australia. And as I go down here, there's only 9 pages. Whereas on the flip side, if I do this right, if I type in buyer's agent, I get like 76. So I get way more in the services. So what does this tell me? I'll just go back to the page for the dentist. So what does this tell me by only having 9 here in the services search, but having heaps of hits on the people search? What that tells me is we can absolutely we can find these prospects, so the decision makers, on LinkedIn, but what we'll need to do is either send a connection request first so we can then contact them. That's going to be mandatory, or I should say, we sign up to LinkedIn Premium, where we will be able to message them without having to connect first. But LinkedIn Premium is capped anyway, so we're going to have to probably take into consideration that if we go into this niche, the prospecting, we're going to have that extra step, which is sending a connection request, waiting for them to accept the connection request, then sending the first message. It's just something to be aware of. Then accessible on Instagram. So yes, I found that. Decision makers easily accessible on Instagram. No, I just did a bit of a spot check, put in some names that I found on LinkedIn into Instagram, and it was kind of hard to contact them, and they didn't look like they're really active. But the business accounts were, so we can potentially try to prospect them there as well. Now, what about cold calling? Well, I put here gatekeepers, because if you look at a lot of dental websites, let's just put in dentist in New South Wales. Let's just type that. Dentist in Sydney. Let's have a look. So if I just go to, let's just pick a random one. If I go to their website and I go to contact, I can only see like I can only see a landline, right? I can't, if I go to our team, I'm not seeing any contact details for each person. Whereas as an example, let's just say if I type in buyer's agent Gold Coast, let's just check elite buyer's agents. Let's just check this out. Usually these buyer's agents will actually put their mobiles on their website. Actually, I don't know about this one, but let's try a different one. So if we go to buyer's advocacy, got all this stuff here. Where's the contact? website's actually a little bit confusing. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, okay, here we go. So if we go to contact, yeah, he's got a mobile number right here. So as we can see, if I wanted to prospect this, I can go boom. I've got his mobile number. Whereas a lot of the dentists, they don't put their mobiles here. So that means that if we cold call, we're gonna have to go through a gatekeeper. So that tells me that, okay, we're gonna have to be able to crack getting past gatekeepers if we cold call. And then I've got cold emailing here. And the question is, decision makers easily accessible by cold emailing. My lead scraper that I use at the moment, local scraper, doesn't scrape email addresses. It just scrapes phone numbers. So for now, I've just put in here that the emails are not easily accessible through websites. So what does this tell me? This tells me that, okay, we can prospect through LinkedIn, but we're going to have to do a connection request and or use premium. So there's an extra step. We can cold call, but we're going to have to find a way to get past those gatekeepers. And we can also try prospecting through businesses on Instagram, but usually what happens, it's quite common for, you know, the business to have an Instagram manager, like maybe the office manager or someone else, receptionist even, potentially managing the Instagram. So we would have to test to see if we get success there. And of course, as always, we can use paid ads, which is probably going to always work because, well, if you do it right, there's a good chance it will work if you know what you're doing with meta ads, which we do. So we know that we can use that for our business as well. So that is this here. So what I will do is go through one. I'll actually put one in here. Let's put landscaping. I'll show you. I'll just do it live to show what I'm doing and what I'm looking at, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's look into landscaping just because I have some here already. But let's do this. So let's just say landscaping. Okay. So let's see the estimated number of businesses. So I did find an IBIS world in Australia, trends 2024 forecast. So 18,057, I'm just gonna use that. Again, I could be doing this wrong. Don't take my word for everything. This is just what I'm doing here. So what I'll then do, actually I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this into ChatGPT. I'm just going to paste this and I'll let it do its thing for a bit. Now while it's doing that, let's take a look. So estimated annual total expenditure, so that's kind of revenue. We've got 7.8 billion according to this. I'll put that there. Now monthly keywords. So for that, I want to go to Google Ads, my Google Ads account. In my Google Ads account, I'll go to, where's it? Keyword planner. Now what I'll type in here is, let's just put in landscaping and see what comes up. I'm going to sort of double check this with what ChatGPT says as well. Okay, so I'm just moving myself. So landscaping 14,800. So I'm just going to do about 15,000 as an example, but there might even be more. I'll wait till ChatGPT, see what that says. Average LTV per customer. So let's take a look. So ChatGPT reckons 20 to 25,000 estimated number of businesses. Okay, it's not too far off according to the IBS world one here, which is 18,557. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm okay with this. And again, this isn't like I'm doing an in-depth analysis like for a really big company where like it needs to be super accurate. I'm more just trying to give myself here a big picture. Essentially, what am I doing this? I'm trying to gather enough data to answer the question, is this a niche worth looking into in terms of providing digital marketing services for? So approximately 3,000 to 6,000 businesses might have 5+ employees. I feel like it could probably be more than that, but let's be conservative. So I'm just going to put here 5,000. Let's just do that for now. Average LTV. So what did it say here? 500 to 5,000 to spend on, like, let's copy and paste that. I feel like it could actually be more than that, but for now, let's do this. And growth rate. So what's this? We have here 2.5% in terms of growth and revenue. I'll just put down around 1%. Again, this is just estimated stuff, just help me get an idea. Now let's check the most profitable. Also, actually, 2 billion to 5 billion annually. So that I'm going to go with the IBS World one. And I hope I got this correct. I mean, I could be getting it wrong here. Someone says, Matt, you're using the wrong number, but you're an idiot. Let me know. It'd be great. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay. Design installation 2K to 20K. Now we're talking. So that's good. I'm going to copy and paste that in. Actually, that will be the third, because that's the least expensive. And this one, hardscaping, will be in the middle. So let's go through. So what would I do in color coding? I think the estimated number of businesses looks decent. This could probably be higher, but I think this is fine. So I'm gonna put this as green. And I think I'll put that as green. I think that's good. I reckon it's probably more, but that's fine. LTV, so the average, I reckon 500 to 5,000 according to ChatGPT. I reckon you'd be more around to 10,000 based on the outro. So I'm gonna put that there. I think that's decent. I think that's good. Maybe even, yeah, I think that's good. Monthly keyword searches. What did actually they say here? And so this is where we have a weird discrepancy. So ChatGPT is telling me 100 to 200,000 for terms like landscaping, etc. But if I went in my keyword planner, which might not be fully accurate, if I type in landscaping or landscaper, let's do that. Actually, maybe it's this. Let's try this. Landscaper, landscaping. What else? Landscape design. I mean, that should all be included, so let's do this. Landscape, I'll just do this. What I can do is hardscape, let's try that as well. Just to give us an idea. So, okay, so maybe about 20, let's just say here, say 20,000 might be more accurate. I'm sure there's more, but that's just to give me a ballpark. It tells me ChatGPT reckons 100 to 200,000. I'm not sure on that one, ChatGPT. That's okay. And I want to make this. So I think that, actually that one's sort of blue. I'll make that maybe blue. It's not the best. But these two are green. Reason is that this isn't bad profit margin. Sorry, this isn't bad revenue. This could make sense to be providing a marketing, for a company that can get up to $20,000 per project. Obviously that's best case, but then we have in between. That could make a lot of sense for them to invest $5,000 to $10,000 a month into marketing to get more leads, so they can get more of these jobs. So I would say here, based on this makes sense that this would be a niche worth exploring further. And then what we could do is also look at the ease of contactability. But I ran through that earlier, and I'm going to do that later. I'm not going to do that in this video. And that's it for this video. If you noticed anything that could be improved with what I'm doing, or any numbers I've gotten wrong, any feedback at all, let me know. Would love to have it, and would definitely take it on board. If I feel like it's correct, of course. I'm assuming that if you are going to post something like that, you're going to know what you're talking about. This is what I'll be doing to determine my next niches and my next move for Colossal. Now, one thing I wanted to mention as well, I don't know who is watching this video. If you are someone who's newer to business, so maybe you've just decided to start your own digital marketing agency or something similar, this depth of analysis is probably not something that's really appropriate for you. You would be better off choosing a niche that is well known, a proven niche, so like dental, landscaping, or home remodeling, I should say. Anything like that. Anything where there's other successful agencies, you'd be better off just choosing that and prospecting like crazy. You would get much more value than doing what I'm doing here. Because the fact is, if you've just started and it's your first business, you probably have zero idea what you're doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I've been doing this for 1.5 years. On the side, but still, that's what I would say. If you're watching this, you're like, I'm gonna do all this analysis, just please, for goodness sake, just pick up the darn phone and cold call. Go onto LinkedIn and message. If you have enough cash to put into paid ads, so your meta ads, allocate something and do that. You're better off getting more desensitized to doing the uncomfortable things that are required to make sales. Prospecting, cold calling, speaking with prospects when you haven't done it before especially can be uncomfortable. You're going to have to face rejection. You're going to have to face rejection. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. Focusing on that is going to be much better for you than doing all this in-depth analysis stuff. If you've just started your business and you haven't, it's your first shot at business. Allocating money to paid ads, that's big. Like when I first did that, hilariously, I was allocating $30 a day towards Colossal's ads to get us more leads and clients. My wife was like, Matt, are you okay? Because for like the first 3 days, I was like jittery. I was like, $30 a day. It's just going. It's just dripping, which is hilarious because the amount of money that I had in the bank account and all this, which wasn't heaps, but it wasn't like it was going to break the bank. Like, it really wasn't. It was just this concept of knowing that I've got an X amount of dollars per day going to the ads, even though it was definitely not going to hurt us at all, and I could switch them off at any time. I was like jittering out, but now I'm used to it. And now what I would do is go, cool. I know I've got this amount of cash. I can definitely allocate this over a month, 2, 3 months. And then I would just allocate it when we're ready to run paid ads again. And then I would just go, cool, that's the allocation and we'll deal with it. There's these things you can do that are going to get you more throughput. I think I'm using that term correctly. Output or throughput, one of those things. You're going to essentially get more value for your time if you're newer to doing things like prospecting or getting comfortable with allocating money to paid ads. If you've got the cash, for goodness sake, please, if you've just started and it's your life savings and that'll exhaust your life savings, do not put that into paid ads. Do some prospecting, just like cold calling and going on organic stuff, like going on social media accounts and contacting people there. Hope this video was useful. Okay, bye.